Viewers, welcome back to NAMCO's Education Video Learning and our biology series on the environment. Today, in our lesson 2 of 5, we will be looking at the damages caused by humans to the environment. We will discuss how modern technology increases food production, which is good, but that this technology also has an undesirable impact on our forest and grazing land. We'll discuss the negative impacts of fertilizer on land, and we'll see if more constructive alternatives exist for fertilizing our lands. Of course, we cannot talk about our environment without mentioning water pollution, and we will look at the effects of irrigation on land. I'll join you again later.
Why are you being so fast though? Damn. You see, that's why we're having an officer of the Ministry of Environment helping us with this assignment, you know?
But I mean, it's a great opportunity for us to get some fresh air, hear the birds, get a little sunshine on my skin.
Okay, not as much for some of us, but okay.
I remember my father used to take us out into the field. You know, he would teach us about the different types of birds, trees, and so on. But nowadays he's just too busy.
Yes. You know, that's a problem with life nowadays. People are way too busy trying to make money that they forget to stop, have a moment, and just smell the roses. Oh, Mr. Fredericks.
Oh, Mr. Fredericks, good morning.
Hi, how are you all?
We're fine, sir. How are you?
Good. What a lovely morning we have chosen for this outing, haven't we?
We sure have.
Yes. So what's our assignment then?
Okay, we have to find out what influence the people have on the environment, especially the damage they cause to the environment.
Good. I see you guys have brought along notebooks to jot down a few ideas.
You know, you could grow potatoes, carrots.
What's that, Mervin?
Oh, no, it's okay, sir. I was just daydreaming. No, it's okay. Let's start walking.
Okay.
What's that, Mervin?
Pardon, sir. It's quite embarrassing. I was just thinking. It's valuable, isn't it? Piece of land like this. My mom were to see this, she'd love to grow all types of crops. I mean, carrots, potatoes, beans. On that piece of land right there. Come on, man, really.
I reckon a lot of people will agree with you, John. It is a pity to always see valuable cropland go wasted, but especially a city like Windhoek, for its people. Open areas are needed for people to get breathing space. Can you see the green plants?
Yeah.
It's healthy, and psychologically, it is very important for people.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be difficult to grow a vegetable garden here anyway. I mean, who would water it? I mean, and look at all these tracks people made. Like, they would either steal the vegetables or they will trample all over them. So sad.
Indeed, people do a lot of harm. Look here. It's a tractor which enables farmers to plow, water, and irrigate their lands. Modern technologies such as tractors have been very helpful to us, humans, in producing more food.
That's true. There's machinery for harvesting crops and planting seeds.
Such big tractors and other machinery used for harvesting and planting must be very expensive. People without money could never afford to have tractors and those other types of machinery.
Yes, that's true, John. But there are some forms of technology such as plows which are more affordable and which most subsistence farmers could afford. But look here.
Sure, what has happened here, Mr. Felix? Gee, what about this one?
That's a big like what you were complaining about before, Mervyn. The tracks and footpaths made here in the field were too many footpaths for a garden to grow well here. In this case, people have removed so much forest in order to plant other things.
Yeah, there is a word for it. Deforestation.
That's it. I knew that.
That's right, deforestation. Taking away the forest. When people walk or drive repeatedly in the same tracks, plants cannot grow in those tracks again. In this picture, they have cleared so much of the forest, probably to build here. That is unlikely that anything will grow in those areas again.
Damage caused to the environment by humans.
Yes, you can write down all the things people do. Chopping down of trees, making car tracks, in vulnerable forest areas, veld fires. Deforestation can cause serious damage to the environment. You can make the following notes in your books. We find that humans clear large areas of forests and plant crops. They clear land for town planning and for buildings. The hunters sometimes burn trees to chase out animals. They cut down trees for firewood and to make crafts to sell to tourists. And they cut logs of wood for building materials and to make furniture. Sometimes farmers also keep too many animals in one grazing area, which then leads to overgrazing. The animals graze all vegetation off the land, and new plants cannot grow there again.
Could you give us a definition of deforestation, sir,
Yes, that would be really
to write in our books?
Yes, good idea. Write this down. We should work on though it's getting hotter. Deforestation is a removal of a large number of trees from the land. In some areas in Namibia, we already have very few trees to begin with. So we include bushes, plants, and grass. Therefore, we say, deforestation is a removal of vegetation from the land. Now, does anyone know what specific damage is caused by deforestation?
we did this in class. Doesn't deforestation destroy the habitats of the organisms that live in that environment?
You're right, Mervyn. Just look at this disturbing picture found on the internet, which shows that when the tree in which the cheetah lived was chopped down, they might as well have chopped off its head, as the cheetah no longer has a place to live. Deforestation causes many species to die out, to become extinct.
Yes, we spoke about that yesterday. I also think very few tourists will come to Namibia when there are no longer any plants or animals to see.
And when plants are removed, there is increased soil erosion because rainwater and floods cause the good topsoil layer to wash away. This means there are no trees or other vegetation to slow down the water from washing the soil away.
I'm impressed, John, that you remember that the plants are the lungs of the earth. Indeed, if they are removed, there will be less photosynthesis, causing an increase in carbon dioxide, which causes global warming and humans to suffocate.
Oh yes, of course. No plants to release oxygen through photosynthesis means less oxygen for us to survive on. Sure.
Can you think of any more negative effects of deforestation?
It leads me to think about agricultural land. This is where crops are planted, right? But I think I've heard somewhere that agricultural land could be good, could be bad for the environment.
Well done for applying your knowledge like that, Mervyn. Yes, unfortunately, intensive agriculture can damage the environment. The farmers use insecticides to kill insects, and they use fertilizers to improve the growth of their crops and to get better looking crops. But when fertilizers are overused, they can cause damage to the environment. The nitrates in the fertilizers leak into rivers and dams, where it causes algae bloom. Algae blocks out light for water plants and poisons fish.
On the farm, we sometimes use cattle manure. It is cheaper than industrial fertilizers, and I think it's less harmful.
Exactly. On our farm, we can use alternatives such as organic fertilizers, including livestock manure and compost. Farmers can also apply crop rotation, where they rotate the type of crop they plant in a certain area, so the soil does not get exhausted from the crop. In terms of minerals the crops takes out of the ground.
That's very clever. I personally have never heard of that. I've only heard of rotating grazing land for livestock.
Well, have any of you heard about nitrogen fixing crops?
Nope.
It's a really interesting concept. Nitrogen fixing crops are plants that are used to increase crop yields without having to use industrial fertilizers. These are legume plants that have root nodules. Inside the root nodules, there are nitrogen fixing bacteria. These nitrogen fixing bacteria can convert nitrogen gas in the soil into nitrates. Nitrates help plants to grow well.
What? So you plant these legumes next to all your other plants and they make the soil rich in nitrates and all your plants grow well? Wow!
Yes. So, other useful ways to improve crops without the use of harmful chemicals is to water the crops regularly. As we know, water is life.
At our farm, we entirely depend on rainwater for our crops to grow.
Yes, rainfall is a primary source of water for our crops. But sometimes, commercial farmers have to irrigate their crops because it is their only source of income, and they have to safeguard the harvest. Unfortunately, irrigation also has its effects on the environment.
What? Sir, I thought irrigation was good for plants.
Irrigation can either be good or harmful for the land. Irrigation is good when it provides water to plants in areas of low rainfall or during dry seasons. This is an advantage of irrigation. We have places in Namibia that receive little rainfall, but because these areas can be irrigated, those lands can still yield good crops.
Do you mean to say that irrigation can also have disadvantages?
Yes, when it is overdone. Excessive irrigation has the same effect as flooding. It causes soil erosion when mineral salts from the soil are washed away and are then not available to the plants to help them grow.
Gee, just look at all that water. Considering what water costs in the city, imagine it must be very expensive to irrigate all these huge lands.
I admire your practical way of thinking, John. You are right. Another disadvantage of irrigation is high cost of water. The production cost for the crops becomes higher the more water a farmer uses. It is better to use just enough water for plant growth and not to over-irrigate.
Guys, this was fun. Thank you so very much, Mr. Felix, for making us understand how people and sometimes even well-intended farming methods can be harmful for our environment and cause poor crop yields.
We will have an excellent presentation on Monday. We'll write down all this and
That's a great idea, Mervyn, Melissa, John. It's a pleasure to be in Young Company. I'm happy you have learned something today.
You have changed the way I look at plants and water.
Yeah.
Well, thank you,
very
sir.
much.
Goodbye.
Meet again?
Yeah. That was kind of interesting, wasn't it?
It was.
Wow.
But it was fun.
Let's go.
Well, viewers, I must say I feel very much refreshed after the long walk through nature. Thank you for watching this lesson with us, and I do hope you enjoyed our company today. Let's see what we have learned. Deforestation is the removal of vegetation from the land. Deforestation happens when humans clear large areas of forest to plant crops. Humans clear large areas of forest for town planning and for building. Hunters sometimes burn trees to chase out animals. They chop down trees for firewood and to make crafts to sell to tourists. People also cut logs of wood for building material and to make furniture from them. Deforestation has a number of negative impacts on the land, including that it deprives wild animals of their natural habitat, causes a lot of income from tourists, and results in soil erosion. Soil erosion also has major negative impacts on the land, including that it causes mineral salts to wash away the soil, to lose fertility, and have low crop yields. When irrigated water evaporates from the soil, it leaves salts on the soil surface, thereby making the soil salty. To improve crops in a healthy manner, not using industrialized chemicals which may be harmful, farmers can use organic fertilizers such as cattle, goat, or sheep manure, as well as compost from mulch and fruit and vegetable peels. Crop rotation, planting varying types of crops on the land, using nitrogen-fixing crops, which naturally improves the mineral content of the soil. And irrigation, as this provides water to plants during low rainfall and in dry seasons. This ends our lesson for today. Before we say goodbye, do take part in our SMS competition for today. To SMS your answer, please enter the keyword for this program, which is deforestation, and then send as your answer the option A, B, or C to 5003. One SMS costs 3 Namibian dollars. Here is the question. Which of the following is a way to improve crops? A, nitrogen fixing crops. B, washing away mineral salts. Or C, removing vegetation from the land. Which one of these methods is a way to improve crops? I'm sure you know the answer straight away. We'll announce the winner within 3 days of today, and if you are the winner, we'll call you to collect your prize at the NAM call center nearest to you. We'll see you again tomorrow when we will have another exciting lesson in our biology series. Until then, please take care of our beautiful country and save our water. Bye-bye.